Well, for more on the innovative ways retailers are building brand awareness, my colleague Susan Roberts spoke with Dean Crutchfield, CEO of Crutchfield and Partners, and he explained why the IHOP stunt worked.
It scored attention in the press, and I think that's what counts. And they got that. It was a good PR coup, and they did well from it. I think there's some irritation because it seemed to be rather trivializing their customer perception by, flouting their new name, and really they didn't have any intent behind it. But otherwise, I think it worked perfectly well.
How do you build brand awareness without a gimmick like this in today's age?
Well, especially, at a retail level, you have to look at, changing every strategy you've ever thought of. So one of the big things in retail right now, if you look at it, is the male shopper. They're about 40% of traffic going into most stores these days, and yet they've been totally forgotten about when it comes to marketing and strategy and product placement. Now stores are turning to that. You have stores like Hy-Vee, it's a small retail chain in America, is doing barbecue and sausage tasting and beer stations, to try to engage the male shopper. Stop and Shop, the big retailer, is doing an advertising campaign right now targeting the male shopper. So that's something really big, a really major opportunity for retailers. But then you have to look at other areas too, like smooth checkouts, in terms of that experience. There's a really great example in China called Hema. It's owned by Alibaba, and it's all online with mobile apps and mobile payments and deliveries in 30 minutes. A really fascinating retail concept. So that's the kind of thing that needs to be happening right now. How do you localize your offer? Nike does a great job with its flagship stores, good things to copy, and then looking at other areas, especially that sense of urgency. And I think it goes back to the story with Build-A-Bear. There was a sense of urgency about that promotion. It excited customers. It got them to the store. Like a Cyber Monday or a Black Friday or Prime Day, there's that sense of urgency, and you can't beat that in a retail setting.
And does a quick fix like, IHOP changing the name, does that have sustainability?
I don't think it has sustainability in that way because after a while, consumers get bored. We've got the news cycle. Every day we're bombarded with 3,000 messages. So in the end, it gets lost in the mix. So it's not sustainable, no, but it was a gimmick, and marketing sometimes is allowed to have gimmicks, and that gimmick worked.
When I think of brand awareness, I was thinking about this before we began our discussion. The best example that comes to my mind is Virgin. Richard Branson, the brand. No matter what venture it is, the brand is already built with his name.
Yes. Well, it's called brand stretch, so the power of the personality and the potency of the brand. Virgin is a genuine brand, and people love that brand. They have an emotional connection with that brand, and they also have an expectation of it. So that gives it permission to stretch its brand very far, but it's one of those very few brands that's able to do it. A lot of others will stretch and snap.
I see. Can you really make it in today's world without tying social media to your product?
No, everything you do these days has to, have a digital component. Without it, you're kind of lost and stuck. Like I said, you've got to get rid of all that traditional thinking. You need to understand that digital isn't there to destroy retail. That's the old adage. Today, it's about bringing them together harmoniously to work together in a powerful way, and it can be done. And there are many examples out there of retailers doing a really good job online and driving traffic to their store. So it's really about bringing them together and working harmoniously as best as you can.
And finally, I want to ask you, how can retailers compete with days like Prime Day, which we just saw with Amazon? I was thinking possibly they could, try and beat the deal with the hashtag connecting to Amazon Prime Day to see if they can lure people over to their account.
Yeah, absolutely. You should literally take it on. I mean, I think like great artists, you steal good ideas, and if it's a good one, jump on the bandwagon. I think that retailers and many, especially retailers, need to look at every single event that's happening every month, whether it's holidays or special events, and jump on those that are relevant for their product and their retail offer. So things like Prime Day are very relevant for any store to jump on. It's not just Amazon.